My name is Detective Brandy Myers, B-R-A-N-D-I. Last name is spelled M-Y-E-R-S. I'm a public information officer for the Mesa Police Department. Is there one person I should be focused on when I speak, or just...
You could just look straight off. Yeah.
Okay,
My beautiful face. Oh, how lucky you are.
I got you.
All right, what do we got?
Okay, just before 8:30 this morning, Mesa police officers were advised of a stolen vehicle out of Tempe. This vehicle had a GPS tracker in it, and we were able to track the vehicle to an address at 1500 block of East Mahoney. We did have 2 officers in the area that found that vehicle unoccupied in front of that residence, and they started calling more officers into the area to set up a perimeter. At that point, a 25-year-old man came out of the residence and went towards the stolen vehicle. This is when an officer-involved shooting occurred. Right now, we only know that 2 officers shot. They shot their duty weapons. There were no other officers in the area, so we only have their word of what happened, and we have not interviewed them yet. We still need to look at body-worn camera, which we have not done, and we need to find witnesses that may have witnessed the shooting. If you did witness a shooting and you were in the area, please call the Mesa Police Department. After that, we had officers respond to the scene, and they gave verbal commands to the suspect, and he was not complying with commands. Less lethal measures were taken. A beanbag round and taser were used, and he was taken into custody. He has since gone to the hospital with minimal injuries. He has been cleared to get booked into jail, and right now he will be booked on felony charges, but we do not know what those charges are until the investigation is further along.
SWAT
Questions? SWAT team is here because we authorize a search warrant to go in and search for more people or more evidence of the stolen vehicle, like keys or anything that might help with putting those 2 things together.
Is that standard for a situation like this?
Yes, a SWAT team is always used when you serve search warrants, and in an instance like this, I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but there were several people detained out of the house. We haven't gone in yet, so we want to make sure there's nobody else inside hiding.
Was the tracking device manufactured, or was it an air tag that you put in there?
From what I'm hearing, it's a GPS tracker. It was a landscaping vehicle, and it was out of Artistic Land Management is the name of the company. So their vehicles were equipped with a GPS tracker.
When was the car reported stolen?
I don't have the exact time. You might want to reach out to Tempe for that one. It did get stolen out of Tempe. And what they did is they announced an attempt to locate to all the surrounding agencies. And then with the tracker being on it, came into Mesa, and that's when our guys picked it up.
How many times did officers discharge their weapons?
That is something we're still looking into. We do need to speak to the officers. It is protocol for us to take their weapons and make sure that all the rounds are accounted for, and that will give us a count of how many they shot. We don't know at this point.
So just to clarify, non-lethal was used before?
After.
Oh, after.
Yes, so the officer-involved shooting occurred, and then more officers responded to the scene, gave the man verbal commands, and he was not compliant with those commands. That is when beanbag round was used, and then the taser round was used. I will tell you that a knife was located on scene next to the suspect. We're still trying to piece together how that was involved in the officer-involved shooting, but I'm hoping to get more details after we interview the officers and look at the body-worn camera.
Did the officers hit anything?
No, the man was not hit. I don't know if property was hit. That is something that we'll look at during the investigation. We'll do safety walks and see if we can locate where those rounds went. But the suspect was not hit by any lethal rounds.
So after they shot, what happens to the guy? Is he just hanging out there? Do you go back in the building? How
Yes.
do you go from lethal to non-lethal?
Yes. So officers shot lethal rounds. They did not hit the suspect, but he stayed on scene. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He stayed by the stolen vehicle. And then as they were giving him commands, which I don't know what they were, but if I was to give an example, put your hands up, turn around, lay on the ground, he was not compliant with that. They utilized a beanbag round. This is where the details can get a little hazy because I don't have them, and this is what I'm hoping to learn. A knife was located next to him. How that knife was used in this incident, we don't know right now. But then the use of beanbag and taser came at the same time as this man standing next to this knife. I hope that makes sense for you right now. Okay.
And he was hit by one or the other, taser, beanbag, or both?
Correct. Both beanbag and taser.
The injury was caused by non-lethal.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
How long was the standoff approximately?
So this call for us came out at 8:21 a.m. The officer-involved shooting happened at 8:41. When he was taken into custody was sometime after that. I can get you the time, your AZ family. I can send you an email for the exact time that we put him in handcuffs, but that's the timeline for when the call came and the officer-involved shooting occurred.
And then I guess I'm wondering, with the several people detained, like, is it just because they were inside the house and you guys are trying to search the house, or?
So, correct. I'm assuming that because of the officer-involved shooting, it does elicit a lot of people coming out of their homes. It is a noisy, chaotic scene. So when we have a home that we know the suspect came out of after possibly committing the stolen vehicle, we don't know if he was the one or not. We just know he approached the stolen vehicle. Then we start calling people out for our safety too, as we're on scene trying to figure out what exactly occurred. So that's kind of how that works.
So they're not necessarily connected.
Correct. We don't know. They could be, they could not be. We know that the stolen vehicle out of Tempe possibly just had one person that stole it, and then we had the one person come out of the house and open the door to the stolen vehicle. So that was our primary focus. Whether or not he was the one that took the vehicle in Tempe, I'm not sure.
We've been hearing from people in the neighborhood too that this is like a common occurrence of shootings. Would you say, from the department standpoint, have you been to this neighborhood frequently?
So I'm assuming they're talking about the last officer-involved shooting we had, which was right across the street, if you will, on Barkley. And that's my only connection right now as far as shootings occur.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.